Hey everybody, before you continue watching the video, make sure you give the channel a like and subscribe. Go and follow us on Instagram. Go and check out all the different social media scenarios. Make sure if you're enjoying the content, go there, like, subscribe, follow, so we can keep putting stuff out. If you've got any questions, leave a comment. All right, make a comment on either of our pages and we'll answer them as soon as we can. And also where you kind of got like introduced to Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Okay. I was born in Western Australia, and like most of my life, like I'm a small guy, as you can see. Like I was sort of pushed into a lot of martial arts from my parents, and so like when I was young, I did taekwondo and karate, but I never really liked them. Though a lot of it was just like this really traditional stuff, and like I never saw a lot of point in it. But I did enjoy. I remember when I was probably maybe 6 or 7, I saw my first ninja movie. It was the American Ninja, and like this guy who was basically beating up like 10 guys and stuff. And like this is kind of where I kind of thought about this idea of martial arts. And like I said, like I did karate and all of these type of things, but I never really enjoyed them. And I then moved on to like Kung Fu because I became a big Bruce Lee fan just from the whole ninja thing, then into Bruce Lee. And I did Kung Fu for years, and I met a person there, and he's a professional fighter, and he had his first professional fight, and for me, he was like the greatest fighter I've ever known type of thing. And he basically got taken down and submitted with an arm triangle. At the time, I didn't know what was happening. Like I'm looking at this going, what's going on? Like he's on the ground and he taps, and the whole fight's over. He barely threw a punch. This guy just grabbed him, dragged him to the ground, and it was over. And I was kind of dumbfounded. But seeing that against this person who I considered to be an amazing fighter, maybe go, what is this? And it wasn't, this was all happening at that very start of like UFC. So you'd get tapes, like actual cassette video tapes handed around to friends.
VHS.
That's it, VHS. And so like you would be like at a like TAFE in the library, and someone would have a tape and you're all huddled around like looking at like these people like beat on each other. And this is where you saw Hoist Gracie as well. I didn't act on any of that for like quite a number of years. I kept doing Kung Fu, ended up getting injured, and then just left sort of martial arts for a while. And then I think it was maybe a couple of years, and then I decided I wanted to come back, and I went to, at this time, mixed martial arts had become quite popular. Still early days, like sort of Matt Hughes, kind of that, where it's still rough and tumble. And I thought I'll go to an MMA gym. So I went to an MMA gym, but I was only doing stand-up classes. And like, so, which was great. And then like I got convinced to do a jiu-jitsu class. And I'll remember it was like no gi, and I just got schmozzled. Like every which way I went, like was wrong. So like I'd go left, and I'd get caught into something. At this stage, I didn't know what it was, but I'd be caught into something. I go, oh, okay, well, the natural order of the world, if I go left and it's wrong, if I go right, it'll work out. But it didn't. Like I'd go left, and then something else would happen. And I remember I was getting an arm triangled a lot because I'd try and pull one arm out, and bang, I'd just get triangled. And I just went, I don't know what's happening here. And that was kind of my first introduction to jiu-jitsu. And I just wanted to understand what was happening. And the MMA gym I was at, I didn't find it was a very good environment. And I wanted to keep doing this. So I went onto websites and started looking it up. And I found the Gaha Jiu-Jitsu page. with Eduardo, and I read it all, and I had read a bunch of it, and I was going to go and check out different gyms. But Eduardo at that time, and it's still on the website in a different form, he had like a code of conduct in there, and it was written in what I could say like was kind of like a broken Brazilian English, but the intent of it was really sweet, which made me think like this person, like, you know, is a martial artist, is a black belt, but he sounds like a really kind, genuine guy. Yeah. And I went, if half of that, what I'm reading in this is what he's like, this will be a good school. Because this MMA gym that I went to was rough and tumble. I was not going to be a prize fighter, so they did not care about you. You were just there to pay them money, and so their fighters could fight and earn money. So their tutorials were like 1, 2, 3, like simply like you could get it out of a magazine. I'm not saying that they're bad at what they do. It just wasn't at that time. It wasn't catering for your you know, general martial artist who just wants to learn you know, techniques and things like that. Anyway, I came to a class, and it used to be over here. In another gym, and I just got like beaten up there. Like, you know, I tapped my first body triangle, known as a soft tap, which I always thought was a funny term. But just kept going, and like Eduardo was exactly how I anticipated him to be from that reading that code of conduct. And then I signed up. Like immediately, like I went to one class. I had this like crappy old style judo gi, and it
was white, wasn't it?
Yeah, white.
Long,
one.
like on a.
And it was too long.
Where did you get that from?
I got it from the MMA gym.
Yeah.
It didn't look good, and it didn't fit well. And then eventually.
Thanks for watching the video, guys. Hope you enjoyed. If you did, make sure you give it a like, subscribe, and a follow. Check out all our different social media platforms. There's heaps of content coming out. There's different snippets and content on different platforms. So make sure you're on everything. And again, if it helped you out, recommend to somebody else, and hopefully it'll help them out too.